एषु सुप्तेषु जागर्ति कामं कामं पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकाश्रिताः सर्वे तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वै तत अग्निर्यथैको भुवनं प्रविष्टो रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बभूव एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बहिश्च वायुर्यथैको भुवनं प्रविष्टो रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बभूव एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बहिश्च सूर्यो यथा सर्वलोकस्य चक्षुर्न लिप्यते चाक्षुषेर्बाह्यदोषैः एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा न लिप्यते लोकदुःखेन बाह्यः एको वशी सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा एकं बीजं बहुधा यः करोति तमात्मस्थं येनुपश्यन्ति धीरास्तेषां सुखं शाश्वतं नेतरेषाम् नित्यो नित्यानां चेतनश्चेतनानाम् एको बहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तमात्मस्थं येनुपश्यन्ति धीरास्तेषां शान्तिः शाश्वती नेतरेषाम् तदेतदिति मन्यन्ते निर्देश्यं परमं सुखं कथन्नु तद्विजानीयाम् किमु भाति विभाति वा न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति।
हरि ओम। So, I hope you all are doing well and happy to be connecting from Malaysia. Just a quick update. The lecture so far has been extraordinarily well received. All that I would say is there's a huge potential to continue to serve this wisdom to people from different walks of life. I as always maintain wisdom is essential in everyone's life. It's just that people don't realize its relevance. Through the effort of the Indian government, the High Commissioner of India to Malaysia, and the Indian Cultural Center here, they have taken this initiative to spread the glorious truths of the Gita through the International Gita Mahotsav. And the High Commissioner found me aptly fitting to the role of disseminating this wisdom of the Gita through these lecture series which are happening. I'm in the last leg of the tour, currently in Johor Bahru, arrived yesterday for the first day, 2 more days to go. But very, very satisfying. Happy to reach many, many new people who are being touched by this wisdom. Okay. And the biggest surprise I had on the first day of care lectures, I met Yamunama in the morning. She came to volunteer for the setting up of the auditorium, the facility. And the last thing she told me that morning was, there's a surprise for you all, Guruji, in the evening. I only thought, because Yamunama is such a person with so much love, so much of care, so much service she does. And all through over the years, she used to pamper us with lovely home cooked food, baked. Uh, the one thing which stands out is the lovely cupcakes. So we were telling each other in the car that, Yamuna Ma is going to surprise us with cupcakes. But then, who came? Ashwati was there in the class. She, as you know, she's based out of US, and she did not reveal that she was coming. In the last class, I was telling that I'm in your homeland and you are in a foreign land. So she also kept it. So it was lovely to see her after many years. And she was there through the lectures. It's good to have their family. Last year, in fact, last lecture series, a younger sister from Canada had come. All of them have the same spirit of service, which is very, very, very pleasing to note. So, Ashwati, now we both are in your motherland. Okay. Hari Om, Hari Om. So, getting into the text, the last mantra that we did was the ninth mantra, where he said that just as one fire, having entered the world of forms, assumes each form. Fire has no shape, fire has no form. But whenever a fire is put into any compartment, any container, it assumes the form that it puts in. Even though it assumes the form, it doesn't change. It remains changeless. There is no birth and death, name and form to fire. So he compares fire to be the Atman. He says, so does one Atman in all beings assumes different forms. Atman appears pure and uncontaminated in a sattvic person. Atman appears gross and sinful in a rajasic person. Atman appears ignorant in a tamasic person. Even though it assumes different forms because of its expression through the vasanas and gunas, the Atman by itself, he says, it is the same. Atman remains the same in different minds. Atman remains the same in different manifestations. It is the same in it. And he also says it transcends it. So right throughout we have learned the attempt is to paint a picture of that through Atman. So Atman is not conditioned by that which it enlivens. Atman is not limited by that which it enlivens. It is in it, immanent, and it also bahischa. Bahischa means it is transcendent. It transcends them all. So a similar concept which is said in mantra 9, he spells it out in the 10th mantra as well. We already covered 9. I'm just taking a quick mention of it. Mantra 10 is.
वायुर्यथेको भुवनं प्रविष्टो रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बभूव एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा रूपं रूपं प्रतिरूपो बहिश्च.
Just as the one air having entered the world of forms assumes each form, so does the one Atman in all beings assumes different forms, and it is also beyond. All you need to do is replace the word Agni with Vayu. The rest of the message is the same. all creatures, whether be it a horse, whether be it an elephant, whether be it a creeper. And one of the beautiful trees I had recently seen in Penang is known as a cannonball tree. Beautiful tree. Whether it's a creeper or a plant or a man, all the creatures live on oxygen. So the air having entered the world of forms, it assumes each form. So the one Atman in all beings assumes different forms. It's also beyond it. So what he's saying is all the pluralistic expressions of life, all the expressions of life, what he's saying is that the essence is the same. See, this knowledge, information as such is almost academic for us. For someone who has been reading this text, reading this knowledge for years on years, when you acquaint yourself, the information becomes academic. Means it becomes as a matter of information. But the whole objective is, am I able to relate to the spirit of the verse? Am I able to practice the message which is contained? The focus must shift to the spirit beyond the words. In the initial stages, they're trying to understand the concepts. There may be one or two who are still trying to get the fundamentals of the concepts. But to most of us, believe me, the concepts are all there. Unless you want to confuse yourself with unnecessary read. You read too many interpretations, you only confuse yourself. But the knowledge is just the beginning. And I believe most of you have gone beyond the phase of knowledge and information. But to get to this message, that to see the one Atman in all different forms, to see the one common denominator, we often said, what creates friction, what creates otherness, what creates disparity, what creates sorrow and suffering, all of us are being subjected to it in some degree or the other. And why is it? Is because you are unable to see the commonness, the oneness. The moment you experience that oneness, the moment you experience that common denominator, believe me, there is no more suffering, there is no more friction, there is no more otherness. So the message here is the truth, the essence is the same in all expressions of life. So there is no need for you to see a difference. Now the question is, yet we are constantly seeing difference. The question is, why are we seeing the difference? You walk out of the classroom, you will see a difference. You may be seeing difference in this classroom also. Different individuals, different belief systems, different opinions, with different regions, different places, different cultural backgrounds. You start seeing differences. But the question is, though the truth is that the Atman is the common denominator, why are we seeing the difference? And the difference hurts us, isn't it? The moment there's a difference, there's a competition, there's unhealthy competition. My temple is better than your temple. My guru is better than your guru. My organization is better than your organization. My city is more beautiful than your city. My child is better than your child. All kinds of differences, all sorts of disparities are setting in. The question is, why are we seeing a difference when we ought to see the oneness? Why? Amitama.
Hari Om, Guruji. I guess we are constantly just focused on ourselves. And we are driven by mind and, our own selfishness. So we never see that oneness. We know it in theory, but in practice, we are still very bogged down by our own self-centeredness.
Right? But when you see the other, what are you seeing?
Either better than us or worse than us, but never the same.
You don't see yourself reflecting in the other person.
No. Yeah.
And the otherness creates a lot of restlessness. It causes uneasiness, right?
Yes, sir. Competition and all that. Yeah.
Unhealthiness. Okay. Right. Yes, sir.
Hari Om Guruji. Able to hear me? In my view, I think we have been continuously shadowed by our ego. It is the one which is literally making us to see a oneness among everyone. Yes, as Amrita Ma said, that it's one other way. We have been always feel we are proud and we are one step higher. We don't look at equality on each and every other human beings who are seeing within us. I think the ego is the one aspect which, for moment to moment, it is brings you down, not to think openly. That's my view.
Okay. It's the ego, right? No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just trying to get different perspectives. Okay. UK, any idea? Why do you see differences than oneness?
Hari Om Guruji. It is basically because of our ignorance of the oneness, relating to the oneness in everybody, Guruji. I mean, we have been so conditioned to, we are used to see the differences more than the oneness. So basically because of we are ignorant of it.
Okay, interestingly, I just mentioned that this knowledge of the oneness is now academic.
Yeah, correct.
Now,
correct.
Knowledge comes to you. You are acquainted with this information that Atman is the one that's common.
Yes, Guruji.
You have been pounded again and again.
Yes.
Yet, it is not ignorance of oneness. You know it already. So it's not knowing. It is knowing it and not seeing it.
And also, it becomes very difficult it is becoming difficult to practice it also. I don't know, maybe we are conditioned too much to see the differences.
I'm sorry to say this, I'm being very upright when I say this. Only a person who doesn't do sadhana finds it difficult. When you do your sadhana, believe me, you can achieve anything. There's nothing that is not possible, because to say that I'm not able to apply, you are making the knowledge non-practical. We are pointing a finger that this knowledge cannot be practiced. And I would not do that. I'm not saying you're doing it, but if this knowledge cannot be practiced and lived, why are we talking about it at all, first and foremost?
It's true.
It is meant for sadhaks, and the moment you do sadhana, believe me, there's nothing that cannot be put into practice, including attaining realization of the self. It is as easy as we talk of it, but no, we are perhaps not there at that level. But to say that it is difficult to practice, I'm not able to see it, only indicates that there is a lacuna in our effort. And I would only encourage you to continue to have faith in the sadhana, faith in what is being prescribed, what is being advised, which you are diligently receiving. But you will have to step up your efforts in the right areas.
That's true.
Where you feel there is a lacking. Believe me, once that effort is stepped up, and that effort may be there, but it may take a little more time. Be patient. Believe me, the most difficult thing that you're not able to see, where you believe ignorance is overwhelming you. You believe you're not able to get benefit of the knowledge. Instantly, you start seeing the benefit.
Like it is in flashes, Guruji. I mean, some days it's easy to see the oneness in everybody and all. Whereas a few days it becomes, I mean, you get back to your.
Never mind. That's all. But as long as the effort is continued, effort, they say in the Shastras, it's not the fall that's important. It's inevitable that we all will fall. But the question is how quickly you rise.
Yeah, rise. Yes.
So never blame the fall. Blame for not rising from the fall.
Yes. Very good.
Failure is an integral part of life. But the question is how quickly you come out of the failure and get back to your path.
Yeah.
It's not always a question of success, a question of effort.
Mm.
It is the consistency in the effort that matters.
Yeah, that's true.
And slowly but surely, the law of, the volumetric analysis that we experience when we do in the chemistry lab. The volumetric analysis, right? Where you put solution A into solution B, and the teacher tells you, keep counting the number of drops that you keep putting.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me at which point the solution, the clear solution turns bright red or bright blue or whatever. You may go to him and say, sir, I've put 18 drops, nothing has happened. He will say, put another 2 drops.
Okay.
The 20th drop, everything changes. You may not see a change till the 19th drop also.
Yeah.
The change is happening. The change
in the
is not
20th.
happening. Change is happening. 19 drops
Okay.
gone in. Change is happening. It's not apparent because it still appears crystal clear.
Yeah.
The 20th drop change happens. So don't worry of if the results are not coming, because the past is always against us. The past is never, many a time, past is not with you. So since the past may not be with you, you will have to keep putting a lot more effort, and suddenly you will see that the benefit is very evident.
Very true.
But the change is happening right throughout.
Yeah.
So my appeal to all sadhaks is keep putting in your effort consistently, and don't be anxious of the results.
Yeah.
Even if results are not seen or benefiting, continue the sadhana. And if that is done, believe me, every word of this can be experienced. Every truth that is contained in the Shastras can be felt.
Yes.
Okay,
in fact, on those days, you feel very, very satisfied, and I mean, you feel very good, Guruji, on the days when you can relate to the self in others, and I mean that pleasure is something different. That.
But let me ask you, why is it you are able to see the self in others? Because they have been kind to you?
No, Guruji, because there is this thing in me.
Yeah, it's not because the world has been kind to you, but because you are able to. Doesn't matter whether the world is crude or kind. It's not this aspect. I'm saying every aspect of life.
Yes.
To practice that. All right.
Yes, Guruji.
Thank you. One more propaganda is going on. We know Guruji, but we can never practice it. Delete that word from your life. It will remain permanently a theory in your life if you have that attitude. Then why are you wasting your time with knowledge? Wasting your time, wasting my time also. I'm not talking to a true seeker. Because you yourself confessing you can't practice it. What are you wasting your time? Do better things. Do things that might help you. This is not going to help you. I'm not particular to who says that. I'm not trying to tell you that should not be the attitude. You are struggling because you're not doing your sadhana. You're not doing your part. There is nothing that is impossible. The whole world is nothing but a mere figment of your imagination. Remember, the world is a projection of your mind. Go back and see what are you projecting. N number of times you project the same thing will be seen. If I want to see evil in the world, I will only see evil, irrespective I put Bhagavan Krishna also there, you will see evil in him. You have to train. That is what Vedanta is telling you. That is what your guru is telling you, and you still say your mind is not trained to see oneness. Mind is caught up in Maya. That is avidya that you're caught up in. You have to come out of it. That is the whole. Why are you in this sadhana? Why are you in this satsang? Is the whole objective is to go against what your mind makes you believe. The mind makes you believe the world is real. Yet the Shastra say the world is Maya. Now you tell me, which is true? No, Guruji, it is not true at all. World is very much real. What the masters are saying is not true. You are rejecting it. It may take time for you to start doubting yourself and start believing the masters. It may take a while, but don't say it cannot be practiced. This never is not possible and things like that. Dismiss that thought, please. All the change begins in your belief system. If you believe it can happen, believe me, you can do wonders. In fact, this is the in the Dhyana shlokas, you know that, no? There's a verse in the Dhyana shlokas which says, Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Says it can make a mute, a dumb speak. It can make a lame scale mountains. An invalid can scale a mountain, a dumb can perform a Carnatic concert. That you may understand, not speaking. A dumb fellow can sing a Carnatic concert like Madhurimani Iyer. Story. No, this is the Dhyana Shloka says this. It can do the impossible. So what are you doubting your limited problems, your limited mind? It is your limitation. Your mind is creating the doubt in you. Your mind is making a devil in you. Your devil in you, you are listening to. So you will not listen to your guru also. You have to change. If the change has to come. Yes, Harish.
Guruji, can one of the answers be that the reason we see the differences versus the oneness is because we have a more predominant tamas and rajasic guna and less of a sattvic quotient in our constitution? Can that be one of the logical answers, Guruji?
I see a generic answer, not a logical answer.
Okay.
Because it's a general statement. No? When you say sattvic quality, rajasic and tamas are prominent, sattva is not that prominent. It is a very generic statement. Again, it can be, I can ask you a leading question and say, what is sattva? So you're not answering, if I'm a true inquirer, I will not be satisfied with the answer.
Understood, Guruji. Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
It doesn't complete an answer.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Setuji?
Hari Om Guruji.
Yeah.
As we do sadhana and the first step, we realize when we do all actions with the yajna spirit, and when we don't focus on fruits of action, we start seeing results, and many of the laws of life we see in action. We see when we practice that the laws of life are true. So as we purify, we evolve. And as we evolve and we continue intensive sadhana, I think we will go to oneness. But many places we see this authenticity of all this knowledge. That we face it. Because in our foundation, there is one girl who was born deaf. Now she has joined audiology course itself. she's becoming audiologist. That means she herself will do the testing and find impairment in others. So
There you go. You're proving what Lord Krishna has said.
not only she speaks and talks, she tests others. She's the government of India has recognized her to be an audiologist. She qualifies for all that. So this is very well proven. I have seen in my life that many of the laws of life, as I become more and more unselfish and I do things in yajna spirit, I see things happening. So this will motivate us to go towards oneness. Because we should be a net giver. That quality of giving again comes through sadhana.
No, independently, you're right, Setuji. But you're trying to perhaps stretch a little too much to draw and connect it to seeing the oneness. But they are connected through, you're talking through karma, you're able to see the oneness of jnanam, of seeing the oneness.
What I feel is one cannot jump overnight to oneness without going these as the means.
No, this is constantly the backdrop effort that has to carry on the yajna spirit, be a giver. All these are essential because these are the fundamental principles that you keep acting on. Has to go on. But if I may, why when what we perceive are differences, and differences come because you identify with the vasanas, you're identifying with the gunas of a person.
We are judgmental. We become judgmental when
you become judgmental. You are seeing the vasanas and gunas in a person. Since you are identifying with the vasanas, since you're identifying with the gunas, you are not able to go beyond it and see the Atman that lies beyond the gunas. Thanks, Edwin. So as Haresh said, one can be the most tamasic person or rajasic person. Or you took a reference of the gunas. But even one can be a rajasic or tamasic person. If I don't identify with the guna, what happens? I'm able to see what lies beyond the gunas. Again, a very simple quality to practice. Hate the quality, not the personality. Can we say that, Amitama? Hate the quality, not the personality. A person may have a terrible quality, terrible quality. You may not want to identify with him or her, but that does not mean you have to distance because that person has got a terrible quality. So this can be the least quality that can be practiced where you don't see a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm going beyond that which is blocking my vision to see a oneness. I don't love you because I hate that quality in you. Fair enough to say that? If one says, I hate you because I don't like that quality in you. If you do that one thing, I'll like you. If one says that, to which I'm saying, hate the quality, not the personality. Now you're hating the personality because of that quality, man. If my thumb has a wound, I'm chopping off my arm. Imagine there's a small blister on your arm. You're chopping off your arm because of a blister? No, the blister doesn't look good on my arm. Are you want to chop it off? It does not. We can't go about doing that way, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Because
it is the physical that we identify with, so we can't see beyond the physical.
We can't see. So what you're identifying blocks your vision.
Yes,
so if you're only
exactly.
identifying with the quality, you don't identify with the personality.
Yep.
And that is the expression of ignorance or avidya that we're caught up in. If I'm able to see beyond it, believe me, I will be able to identify with the person. Slowly but surely, you go beyond the qualities, you'll identify with the Atman in the person. And this is the sadhana we have to practice. This is what that we have to see. Because when he says Atman assumes different forms and different beings, but it is beyond it, it is not tainted. It is good as academic information. But how am I practicing it in my abhyasa, in my life? Because there are areas I can't identify with certain people or certain communities. Yesterday, as we drove from Kuala Lumpur to Johor, it's a 4-hour drive. And midway, we stopped at the rest and recreation area where you have little cafeteria, food courts, restrooms. You can buy some fruits and what is a nice place where you can just stretch yourself from the highway. And the moment we walked in through the rest area to sit and have a little breakfast, believe me, the whole area, open area with restaurants and all, it had a very strong smell of non-vegetarian food. Because it's a common thing here in the country. It's a Muslim country, predominantly a Muslim, and people eat non-veg all 3 meals a day, literally, right? And breakfast, in fact, breakfast has its own delicacies where they eat. And that smell was so powerful. I told Sinhaji, please, who is with us here, so let's go a little further away and sit in the play area there. We had a bench there, we sit there and eat. He said, Guruji, I didn't smell it. Because he's so conditioned to it, being a Malaysian, he may not be eating it, but he's so conditioned. He said, it's so strong. It was very uncomfortable. Oshama made, not UK, US made lovely idlis and sent. So we had idli, but we didn't want to have idli in this fragrance of chicken and fish and etc., etc. So we said, let's enjoy idli by idli, not idli with other things. Now, if that is what the fact is, should I find a reason to hate what they are or what it is? I don't need to hate them for what they are. That is their culture, that is their lifestyle, that is their belief systems, that is their... I said, no, we will keep away because we not able to identify with it, but I should not hate them. That's their gunas, that's their vasanas. You go into a mall, you will find ducks hanging, roasted ducks hanging everywhere, chicken rice everywhere, chicken rice shop, this meat, that meat. We will have to look for 1 in 100 stores. You will find pure vegetarian. So much so, a whole kitchen has come here. In the apartment that we are living in a service apartment, Vijay had to bring 3-4 bags of food because we have to be self-sufficient. We cannot afford to go out. Yesterday, we walked for 45 minutes searching for a place to have lunch. We did not find a vegetarian place. We're hungry. We did not find a vegetarian place. I can't hate the country. It's a lovely place. It's a home away from home for me. I enjoy being here. But yet, there are things I may not like it, but I should not hate because of what this place cannot offer. Let me enjoy what all the place can offer and disregard what it can't offer. So if I can love you for what you can do, then hating you for what you can't do. That's the sadhana. Let me love you for what you can do, not what you can't do. If I can identify and see what you can't do, what you don't do, then I'm seeing the differences. But if I can identify you with what you can do, believe me, life is a beautiful thing. That is satsang. Satsang is to take the best in everything and move on. So it can always find opportunities to apply this quality. Ashwati, you're missing some statement? You wrote down?
Hariom Guruji.
Hariom.
Yes, I did like what you said about the place, to enjoy the place for what it is and not what it is for you.
Yeah. I thought you missed something in case I didn't.
No, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, let's move on. Right, 11 please.
सूर्यो यथा सर्वलोकस्य चक्षुर्न लिप्यते चाक्षुषेर्बाह्यदोषैः एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा न लिप्यते लोकदुःखेन बाह्यः
Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu. Just as the sun is the eye of the entire world, which is not tainted by the perceptual and external impurities. Chakshushau bahya doshai. All what you see and all the external impurities doesn't taint the sun. So the Atman in all beings, Sarva Bhutantaratma, Antaratma, the Atman in all beings, Sarva Bhuta, Na lipyate is a very famous word of the Shastras. Na lipyate, even the Bhagavad Gita talks of it very uh, uh, frequently, very eloquently. It keeps using the word Na lipyate, is not tainted by worldly sorrows. It indeed, Bahya, he continues the word Bahya in 9, 10, 11. It transcends. Again, the attempt is to repeatedly, he's trying to attempt to convey this message. What is the true nature of Atman? What should be your true nature? See, you must try. This is the power of Advaita school of thought. Thanks, ma'am. So, being a student of Advaita, being involved in Advaita study, what should be your thought process? Whenever you hear the word Atman, you must attribute it to yourself. Srinivas ji will explain further on this statement. Yes, sir. Did I catch you a little blank, sir?
No. I'm just writing the mantra, Guruji. That's it. That's rewriting that. That's trying to make it.
The mantra is there in the chat box for you.
Yeah. I stopped it making.
Sure. But you follow the question, please?
No, sorry, Guruji. You rightly caught me. Let me confess that because I was writing that I could not focus.
No, I will allow you to write, sir. I will not bother you. We'll ask Apparati. The verse is there in the chat box, sir. You need to take a note. Okay?
Guruji, this particular concept has been explained multiple times in the previous lokas also, just like fire, just like air and the sun, even though they have been all pervading, so is the Atma, where it is also all pervading, it is within us and within everyone. At the same time, it cannot be tainted, it cannot be impure, it is always pure. And only thing is, it is the veil that is actually making us to see what the purity is.
Okay. Correct observation. The same thought is repeated from fire, air, and air relates to the sun. But what was my point? Did you note my point before I asked Srinivas ji about it?
You said that, can you explain the concept, what is given in the mantra? That's what I understood, if I'm not wrong.
In fact, I was asking the concept of Atman. Whenever, see, the mantra clearly says Atman is not tainted by all the worldly sorrows. As a student of Advaita, what should be your thought process?
Guruji, from whatever I've been understanding. So, and the problem is basically, as a student, I'm unable to see the purities. Why I'm unable to see the purities? Because there is an impurity. And where is my impurity? My impurity is in mind. So if I'm able to purify my mind, I'll be able to see the external purity.
Sorry,
So it
sir.
is all how you apply it to yourself through your mind.
This is an impure answer, sir. Gayatri Ma.
Guruji, let me understand the pure answer.
Tell Aparoji that's an impure answer. I want a pure answer.
Yeah.
What is the pure answer? Sir, my question, you didn't understand my question, Aparoji. The
Yeah,
question
let me try, sir.
when the text has repeatedly been saying Atman is not tainted by worldly sorrows, that in precisely in this mantra he says Sarva Bhutantaratma na lipyate loka dukkhena bahyah. All the sorrows in the world does not affect the Atman, right, sir? Now, what does Advaita school of thought? And being a student of Advaita, this is my point. The pun is to explain Atman to a standpoint of an Advaita student.
Atman is the mere witness of what is happening in and around, sir. That's what
This is not what Advaita says.
then
Hmm.
I don't know, sir. I failed to
So
understand.
the purest soul will answer. Gayatri Ma. Not the purest, but the pure soul. Solugo.
Yes. My understanding goes that it's because of the presence of the Atman due to which all these things are being seen also, I would say, like the sorrow and other things. I would like to compare the sun, it's the clouds and the other things or the seen due to the presence of the sunlight. And the sun has got nothing to do with it. The moment clouds are moved,
Jo. What is this? I gave you that. I was expecting a pure answer. What is this, Ma?
so it's because of the Atmans or the presence of the Atman, all this it's a substantive.
I think you people are not getting the pun on the word Advaita school of thought on Atman. You are trying to explain the concept of the example of the sun and the clouds and the Atman and sorrows. That is very clear. That is academic. So I'm not going to the academic aspect of the mantra. I'm going beyond the academic aspect and asking you all to think. What is the Advaita school of thought on Atman? Explain that to me in the context. What is Advaita school of thought?
Advaita is everything is oneness. Like there is no different thing at all. Like so.
Guruji, Advaita says oneness in self and Atman. Isn't it?
It says beyond that also. What does it say beyond that? Advaita says there is only non-dual, there's only one God, right? And then it goes further to say, you are that God yourself. Tat Tvam Asi. Doesn't the Advaita school of thought say? There are no two things. You are that very truth yourself. So whenever they say Atman is not tainted by sorrow, you and I as a student of Advaita must say, I will remain above all the sorrows the world put me through. I am that self. Aham Brahmasmi. Ayam Atma Brahma. So the assertive sadhana and Advaita school of thought would suggest you to do is don't look at Atman as a third entity. Don't separate Atman from yourself and say Atman is a witness. Atman is not tainted. By saying that, you're talking the concept of Dvaita. You say Atman is not tainted, well and good, but I am not that. Then you're not taking the spirit of what the Shastra is saying. The Upanishads are taking the Advaita stance and say, you are that very truth. Can you take that stance. Can you become that very Atman? The moment you think that way, nothing in the world will bother you, nothing in the world will disturb you. As in the Gita, I think it's the 70th verse of second chapter, he says, all the greatest of sorrows are no sorrow. Greatest of joy is no joy. It will not affect you. Why? Because you have become that very Atman in you. The Atman in you is expressing in the various actions that you perform. Otherwise, little things will come and bother you, or the greatest of things will not bother you. Now you all get the question. The question is to interpret the concept of Atman from Advaita. So the interpretation of Atman is to say, I am that Atman. So whenever the Shastras are talking of Atman, put yourself in that situation. I am that very truth. And why should we say that? We should think that way because the law of attachment says, as you think, so you become. You keep thinking of the Atman, you become the Atman, you will have the traits of the Atman, you will exhibit the characteristics of Atman. That is what a spiritual man is, no? What I keep doing, I become it. Now you put that concept of Advaita, of putting yourself as the Atman, and then see. Then read it. Aparoji, can I request you to read that mantra? And Gayatri, please share that for me, please.
Just as the sun, the eye of the entire world is not tainted by the perceptual and external impurities, so the Atman in all beings is not tainted by the worldly sorrows if it transcends.
Or if it transcends, you feel that.
Yeah.
It transcends. Now, what would you replace the word Atman with?
Me.
I replace the word, as you said, you have beautifully explained, Guruji. The thing is, I am no different from Atma, so I am not tainted, I am not the sinner. I am pure.
I am above it. So when one is going through a sorrow, can I tell myself, I am not going to be subjected with this sorrow?
I am not the sufferer.
I am not the
I am not the sufferer.
I am not the sufferer. I am not going to be subject. So it is just everything is about how you psych yourself, what your thought processes are, what you believe in. So if you think yourself to be the Atman, believe me, nothing in the world will matter to you. Nothing should matter to you. Now every small thing matters to you because you are not identifying with the Atman, you are identifying with the vasanas, gunas, and material equipments.
Yeah, because of the Dvaita Bhava, where it says that I am different from Atma.
I would not go into that interpretation of what Dvaita say, but I will just hold on to what Advaita says at this point because I would not want to say that they are wrong. I only want to interpret a different context, please. The objective is not to say that different schools of thought are wrong. They also write from their standpoint. Please mark my words. These three schools of thoughts, the Dvaita, Advaita, and the Vishishta Advaita, they are not contradicting each other, please. Their interpretations are from a different standpoint only. When you take holistic perspective, all three schools of thought, which are propounded by the three great acharyas of Shankara, Madhva, Ramanuja acharyas, all three of them spoke the same truth from a different standpoint. That's about all. But if I were to interpret it from a Dvaita point of view and say, oh, they are wrong, we are right. No, I don't want to get into that. It's interpretation. That's about all. How you perceive it. But the truth is the same, sir. So this is where you get that little extra from the mantra. Otherwise, it is just academic. You will try to make this academic information into an abhyasa. That is the attempt which we are trying to do. The effort is to bring that extra. Otherwise, you don't need to come to a satsang like this. Believe me, you can read commentaries, you can listen to books or audio books. You can get information, but if I can engage you and make you think is in this direction, that is the advantage you get in a satsang like this. Okay. And the rest he says is as I said, is academic, but just to mention on what the mantra is saying, Sarva Lokasya Chakshuhu. the eye of the whole world. So without the sun, as we would experience, the whole world is plunged in darkness. As the Shastras say, you enter the sunless worlds. So therefore, the sun is the presiding deity for the eye. Every organ has a presiding deity. Sun is the presiding deity for the eye. Therefore, he says sun as the eye of the whole world. So sun obviously is not tainted by all the meritorious sacrifice, all the calculated villainy of the various good and the bad. It happens under it. Similarly, Atman is not tainted by your karma and kama. All your egocentric actions, your Atman is not tainted. The snake, a boy sees a snake and the rope is not affected by the snake. A boy sees a ghost in the post is not affected by the ghost. A man sees a mirage in the desert is least affected by the mirage. Similarly, whatever the world is putting you through, all the sorrows, you should tell yourself, I will remain above it. I am not going to be affected by it. So the snake does not affect the rope. The ghost does not affect the post. The mirage does not affect the desert. Is based on the theory of superimposition or the theory of Maya. This is the theory that supports our arguments or assumptions. The theory of superimposition and the theory of Maya establishes that the unreal has no effect on the reality. When will the unreal have an effect on the reality? When you have made the unreal real. You have made the Maya a reality, and that reality affects you. So the message is very, very clear. Don't identify with it and suffer. All the suffering is because of the identification with it. Absolute level, we say Maya. Relative level, don't identify. This is a sadhana to this mantra. I'm sure none of us can say this is Maya. Can we say this as Maya? What is the concept that we talk Gayatri Ma here? Even in Bhajagovindam, we spoke about it, right? Remember? Those of you who came for the retreat, you would be able to understand the concept.
Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya.
We remember we spoke of that on the slide Podungo. The relative reality, absolute reality, no reality. On the slide Podungo. The whole message is don't identify. Identification is all mental identification, not physical, please. You can be in my presence, amidst me, next to me, I may not be thinking of you. But yet I may be thinking of you, you may be hundreds and thousands of miles away, I may be thinking of you. That is identification. Believe me, I'm not exaggerating. Even now, what is the date today? Today is the 22nd. I left the last Hyderabad, means ashram, we left on the 6th, and then we retreat, and then directly from there came here 22nd. Not a day, not a minute, not a moment I thought about the ashram, the facility, and the works and things there. Not a moment I thought of it, bothered of it. Not that I don't care, not that I'm not concerned. Every effort is to make that place flourish to serve the cause. But sitting here, if I am thinking, is the caretaker doing it? If that is happening there, if this is happening there, if who is going there, if I'm worried about it, that becomes a source of my attachment. So you must learn this principle of, apply this principle of Vedanta is wherever you are, keep your mind to it there. Keep your mind in the present. And if you achieve that principle, believe me, you will have no problem of unhealthy identification. Are you able to get it, Gayatri Ma? If it's difficult, leave it, please.
I got it, Guruji, but somehow it is not allowing me to
Share it. Huh?
able to see, Guruji.
1 minute. Huh? I am trying to do something else. Is it? You already put it, huh? Yeah. Okay. This is from the old PPT, right? Can you come down a little further? Come down. Remember the question mark? Never mind, never mind. Go ahead and put the old slide on it then. Earlier, go back to the top, please. No, go to the top of that slide.
Actually, I've copied it because that was not allowing me to present.
Sorry. Okay, whatever you can, please do it. Meanwhile, Amitama is asking the word Bahya and Bahishcha. Yes, both are the same thing, ma. So first in and head, he uses the word Bahishcha. And in mantra 11, he says Bahya. The suggestion is that it transcends, it's beyond it.
Okay, so thank you so much.
The objective of stating that is to say that you can't limit Atman to what you are going through, or where it is. You can't limit Atman to what it manifests in. Atman is manifesting, Atman is expressing in the world, but you can't limit Atman to this. Atman is way beyond.
Beyond.
It's
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Now, Gayatri Ma, forget, don't trouble yourself. She'll share a picture of it in the room. Now, what's the message? What we're trying to say is don't identify. From the absolute, the masters don't identify with the world. Why do the masters don't identify with the world? Because the world for them is Maya, Mithya, is an illusion. Now, you and I can't afford to take that stance to say that the world is Maya or Mithya. Because for us, the world is real. But what they are telling us is, at least don't identify with it to such an extent to give it a sense of absolute reality. Don't give it an absolute reality, man. Why are you giving it so much reality? Why are you giving it such a important status and letting the world come and haunt you? So neither can we give a state of no reality, nor should you give the world a state of absolute reality. What we are told is go by and play by the rules of that experience and give it a status of relative reality. So the sadhana is to move, is to operate from a state of, is to operate in a state of relative reality. So move from absolute reality to relative reality. From relative reality, you go to a state of no reality. This is the attempt. Now I'm sharing this. I hope you all can see it. Now the world is illusion, which is no reality from a point of view from a Mahatma, which is what I've just said. The masters look at the world as illusion. It has no reality for them. It is all a mere imagination. It is no reality. Now, for us, the world is very much real. The problems of the world, the joys of the world, the profit and loss, all what the world puts through is very much real. It is an absolute reality for us, is it not? So we have to move out from a state of absolute reality, and then, as the slide states, you must cultivate a sense of relative reality. Now, what is the difference between absolute reality and relative reality? Absolute reality is where you're affected by the world. The world is so much for you, it's so important what you're doing. So you should try to move away that exaggerated value. Absolute reality, as we often say, is a black market value. So I repeat, giving the world a status of absolute reality is giving the world a black market value. So what we are saying is give the world a right value for it. Nothing more, nothing less. When you give it the right value and keep continuing your sadhana, slowly you will come from relative reality to a point of no reality. So the world will not matter to you at all. It doesn't exist for you. So this is the progression from absolute to relative to no reality. And I remember we spoke of this in the retreat. That's why I took a reference to that. But this is what the mantra is saying. All the worldly sorrows in the world, you will truly transcend it. It doesn't make a difference to you because it is above it and it's not tainted. Right, so I will leave you all with this very beautiful thought. Do ponder on it as to find out, maybe just even for your own self-analysis, try to give list of things which you're giving a black market value, unnecessarily giving it so much importance more than it needs. And in what way can I, there's in the world there are rating systems, right, Amitama? Various things in the world have rating systems. So you downgrade the rating of importance in your life to them. Downgrading of the importance you give them is bringing them from absolute reality to relative reality. Downgrade them in your mental value to them. That's a good way of putting at it. Don't give too much value here. Why are you giving so much ratings to it? Give a little less rating. Automatically, it'll get less importance. Automatically, it will not bother you. And the ultimately is no rating at all. Dismiss it. Okay. Now, as per my itinerary, the rest of the time in the country, next weekend, actually, I'm heading up to Fraser's Hills for a couple of days there. So the next weekend, I'm scheduled to be there in the mountains. I'm not sure how stable is my internet there. However, you will get informed once I find it is stable enough and we would be able to conduct the satsang. You will hear from us. Please await to hear and hope to connect you all next satsang. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.